Hello everyone, this is Pascal from Habit Inquisition, and today's topic is fasting. Why do I want to talk to you about fasting? Because it is something you can very easily implement. It doesn't take any resource to implement this, and you can actually get great benefits from it. But there are so many ways of fasting. I'm just going to give you a rundown of 4 different kinds of fasting I find are appropriate, and I give you the tools to when to use them, what they're good for and what they're not good for. But I won't go into detail. And if you like one of those 4 types of fasting, then go look it up on the internet, and as there is a ton of information out there on those specific types of fasting, and they have a lot of subtypes of fasting. So if you like one of them, look them up. So let's get started with the first one. The first one, well, it's called intermittent fasting. Let's take, for example, a 16-hour window of not eating, and then you have 8 hours where you eat. This is a good way to get started with fasting, but my problem with this is the benefits are not as great. Because let's say you've stopped eating after 8 hours, and then your body needs like 6 to 8 hours to actually get the food out of your digestive system. And only then you actually start to fast, and your body gets into the state where you actually can reap the benefits from. So that means you start to fast after 14 to 16 hours, and there are only like 10 to 8 hours left. So I'm not too much of a fan of this, but it's a good way to get started. Then the second version of fasting that's what I currently do. 22 hours of not eating, or 23 or 21, however you like it, or however much time you need for the meal you want to eat. So you eat, let's say you eat for 2 hours and then 22 hours of fasting. Let's take the 6 to 8 hours of digestion again, and then you actually end up with a quite higher number as you get 14 to 16 hours of fasting, and the benefits are already higher. But this is better to be implemented once you've already reached a quite healthy state. If you're quite unhealthy, it's better sometimes to go with the more rigorous versions to get you to a healthier state first, and then those milder versions of fasting are actually better when you're in a healthy state, that you get more benefits out of them than when you are trying to detoxify or getting rid of a few things. And the more rigorous versions are much better suited for this. So let's get to the more rigorous versions. The first one is, let's take for example 3 days of only drinking water, nothing else. Doesn't mean no coffee, no tea, just water. And this gives your body time to actually clean up good. It actually has also the water to flush out whatever is unnecessary. And it's like a system reboot. Imagine like a system reboot for your body. And it's really good. It puts things back in order. But you don't do this too often. You do it maybe every 3 to 6 months, as it's quite strenuous and you can't eat. You have to watch other people eating, and that's not as fun, you know. And then there's the last version, which is no eating and no liquids. I've done this for 2 days, and this is quite interesting, as your body will now be able to focus completely on the reboot of the system, because even water takes away a little bit of energy from your body, and now the body will be put faster in a survival mode where it thinks, oh, I have to get rid of everything that takes away energy from me, which is not necessary to my survival. So it will get rid of viruses, bacteria, and inflammations, which don't help you, and it will just throw them out, flush them out, and because the body can't sustain them to survive, because he thinks, oh, I'll die within 3 to 4 days of not drinking. But don't you ask me then, well, don't we need water to survive? Yes, and you're correct. But if we actually have some body fat on us, we can actually sustain this kind of fasting for a while, because with oxygen, our body can create water from our body fat. It's a chemical process, and it's the most pure water you can actually ever give to your body, the one your body produced on its own. And when implementing this so-called dry fast, You need to make sure that you get yourself used to it. So maybe start with 1 day. I've found 1 day is easily doable. I don't even feel thirsty. Then you can go up to 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So people who do 5 days, but be careful and maybe consult your doctor before you want to do this, and listen to your own intuition if you're actually ready for this. As I mentioned in my previous video about intuition, it's when implementing those kinds of fasting, you really should listen to yourself. For which version are you ready? Which one fits you best? Because your body will tell you exactly what he needs, and your body knows best. So now I've given you an overview about the 4 major types of fasting. In my opinion, there are many subtypes. Go check it out yourself if you think they are worthwhile. Maybe once in a while, your body also needs a reboot, and people used to do this stuff. For example, religious fasting, where they did that and their body were able to reboot, and then they were healthier after the fast than before that. And yeah, so try out those fastings. Try out those kinds of fastings if you like, and if it feels right to you. Check out on the internet, look at them up more, and then tell me once you've implemented them and gotten some first results. How do you like it? What are your results? Tell me in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time. This is Pascal of Habit Inquisition.